All right, this will be a quick video on how to submit your class expenses to Chrome River for reimbursement for materials and supplies. It's a pretty simple, straightforward process. You can do this from your computer or from your cell phone. You just have to use your web browser on your phone or your web browser on your computer. The first step in the process is to navigate to the website, which is sso.kirkwood.edu. I'm going to go ahead and navigate there. And this is what you should see. You're going to sign in with your K number. You don't necessarily need the @kirkwood.edu, but mine has auto saved, so that's what it looks like. But really all you need is your K number and then your password. If you're not sure of your K number and/or your password, I've included some information in the email so you can get the correct K number and get your password situation figured out so you can go ahead and complete this process. So once you have it entered, you're going to click sign in, and the system should automatically log you into our single sign-on portal, which is this. And once you're here, you're going to click on Chrome River. That is our expense reporting application. Excuse me. All right, once you click on Chrome River, should be what you see. This is the main dashboard for creating your expense reports. So on the right-hand side here, there is some contact information and some tutorials down at the bottom. Honestly, this video will probably be the most useful because I'm walking you through step by step. But if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly and I can get it figured out for you. So the first step in the process is to create a new report. So I'm going to click on Create New Report up on the top right, and I'm going to name the report. I'm going to start with OOP. That stands for out of pocket. And since I make a lot of purchases for Kirkwood, I usually do this by month, my reports by month, but you can most likely do the report just based on the date of your purchase. So in this situation, I went to Walmart and I bought some supplies for a camp, and so I'm just gonna submit it as I would for reimbursement for that one purchase, not for a month of purchases. So I'm gonna put the date of the purchase after OOP, which was May 29th, 2019. We use US dollars. Business purpose is supplies for kick camps. The report type, I always select travel and expense, and you should too. It just gives you some more features when you go to add your actual expense to the report. And so the start date, I'm just going to align that with the date on the report name, which was May 29th, and then go ahead and do May 29th again. Oops, I did June there. May 29th. All right. Once I have that information entered and it looks good, I'm going to click Save. And after that processes, you'll see on the left-hand side here, the title of our report is reflected over here. And then on the right, we're going to actually add in the expenses to the report. So an easy way to think of it is the report is essentially just a named folder that you created where you're going to have to add in the expenses from the individual receipts that you have from your purchases. So once you get here, all you got to do is create a new out of pocket. So click up here towards the top, just under add expenses. You're going to click on that and it's going to open up a few options to categorize your expense. So everything you'll be purchasing is categorized under supplies and equipment, and then under materials and supplies. So once you get there, now you're basically just going to transcribe essentially the information from your receipt from purchasing into the system. So now I have my receipt here next to me. I'm going to pick the date, which is again, May 29th. I'm going to double check the receipt to see how much I spent. So I'm going to enter $44.75. The description, I'm just going to put again, kick camp supplies. And then I'm going to just title them. In this case, we just bought some clipboards and some first aid kits and a few just office supplies. So I'm going to put general supplies. What I would ask is you to put your class title in here. That way we can sort of keep track of what classes have submitted these and make sure we're on top of everything. So just put kick camp supplies, and then if you're an instructor doing this process, put the title of your camp. Merchant, this section is optional, so I'm not going to fill that in. Sales tax, so Kirkwood is a tax exempt organization, so we don't click this, and you'll want to kind of remember that when you go to make your purchase. So most places will work with you if you just tell them it's for Kirkwood. Other places like online retailers, it might be a little harder to get the sales tax waived, and we understand that. So don't feel like you need to spend a lot of time trying to, excuse me, a lot of time trying to get that tax waived, but any extra effort would be appreciated. So don't check that. And then the next and most important part is the allocation. So you really want to double check that this is correct. This is the budget code at Kirkwood that you will be reimbursed out of. So it's really important that we get this correct before you submit it. Otherwise, this will actually, your report will be sent to somebody else, and then it'll be sent back to you to correct, and it'll just kind of get bogged down in a long process of getting them to the right person, and it will definitely delay you getting reimbursed. So for the allocation, now you see I have done this before, so when I click on this area, it auto-populates with a few budget codes, and actually the one we're going to use is down here towards the bottom, and I'll click on that and I'll let you take a look at it. And it might be worth writing this down if you have a lot of camps throughout the summer, just so you can have it for your records. So the allocation is 2210.03/751,000-611010, and then you're going to make sure it's under the WKIC Workforce Training and Economic Development, Instructional Materials and Supplies. So when you're doing this for your first time, just type in the numbers with the dashes. And as you get down the line, it should start to auto-populate. But just, you'll want to double check again that when it auto-populates, you have it under, not only the correct numbers are correct, but also the WKIC Workforce Training and Economic Development. So pretty straightforward. You're just essentially transcribing the receipt information and adding a budget code to that receipt information here. And then the final step is to add an attachment. And the attachment is an image of the receipt. So obviously you can do this a couple ways. Really, it's up to you. You can do a photo of your receipt from your phone. So it's especially helpful if you're just doing this process on your web browser on your mobile device. You can essentially just do the process up until here, and then take a photo of the receipt from your phone through the app. It'll make sense if you're doing it. It's pretty intuitive. Or in this case, what I did was I just emailed myself a picture of the receipt, which I have here on the right-hand side. And since I'm doing this from my desktop, that was the easiest way rather than going to a scanner and scanning it in. So I'll just essentially take my photo and drag it into the area, and it will automatically upload the photo of my receipt to this reimbursement. So once I've done all that, I'll just save it. And because I have actually already done this and this expense was purchased with a Kirkwood card, it's going to show that it is a duplicate entry, but you can follow the same process. So once you click save, it'll show up over here on the left in your expense folder. It'll have the expense type, the amount that you're going to be paid, and then it should have a green check mark here signaling that you have submitted all information required to be reimbursed. From then, you can either add another receipt if you have multiple receipts, or you can go ahead down here and click submit. It should be green. And then once you click submit, that will be automatically sent to me for approval. I'll approve it and finance will process it and get you reimbursed. Typically, the reimbursements are paid via direct deposit to your bank account that HR has on file every Friday. So typically, if we get this process done by Wednesday of the week, finance will have you reimbursed by that Friday. It's not always that way. So if you find that you submitted this on a Wednesday and you didn't get your direct deposit that Friday, it might take another week for it to fully process. We will have a lot of these coming through throughout the summer, so I'm not sure how fast finance will be able to process them. That really covers the process. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me directly via email. Feel free to give me a call at my office line. I'm definitely willing to help you guys get this figured out, and we appreciate your assistance in getting these submitted. Hope you have a great day and looking forward to seeing you this summer.